how's it going? It's Steph Davis here from flipthiswholesaler.net. I have a Saturday night reader mail question for you guys. My question this evening comes from Alexander. Alexander's question is, Steph, I have a question for you about finding buyers. I always read that if you have a good deal under contract that buyers will come out of the woodwork to buy them. I now have my third property under contract and cannot find a buyer for it. I was not able to find buyers for the other two either and ended up backing out of the contracts. I'm getting very frustrated and considering moving into another market where there are more active buyers. Do you have any suggestions? I am in Atlanta, if that makes any difference. Thank you, Alexander. So Alexander has a property under contract. This is his third one, it sounds like, that he has put under contract, and he's not able to find a buyer for it. And this is a question that I get quite frequently from people who they'll put a deal under contract, they'll think they have a great deal on their hands, and then they'll market it, and they're not able to find a buyer, so they kind of get discouraged. There's really only three reasons why I can think of, or why a deal will normally not sell. I don't know if you guys can hear that in the background, but it's storming really bad here. Anyway, the three reasons are, number one, and this is what the case, in most cases, this is the problem, is that your deal is not actually a good deal. And this happens a lot, especially when you're just getting started. You know, you'll think that you have a great deal under contract, you go market it, and nobody's interested in it, and it usually turns out that you don't have it under contract low enough. I know when I first got started, there was a guy here in Tampa that I used to call him. He's another wholesaler, and I would call him when I was first getting started. If I was getting ready to put something under contract, I'd call him and be like, "Hey Lee, I've got this great deal. I'm about to put it under contract." I'd be all excited about it, and he would be like, "Steph, no, that's not. You need to get it like $20,000 less than that." So that's kind of how I learned. I would go to him with my deals that I thought were great deals, and he would be like, "No, that's not a great deal. You need to get it, you know, for a lot less." So that's just part of the learning curve. It's part of learning your market. The second thing that that might be the issue here is that you're not marketing it enough. What are you doing to market the deal? I see a lot of people that will say, well, I put an ad on Craigslist and no one responded to it. You've got to do a heck of a lot more than, especially if you don't have your network set up already. If you don't have a solid buyer's list, if you don't have other wholesalers that you can call, if you're just getting started and you don't have any of that, you're really going to have to hustle to get the word out about your deal. You should be putting it on Craigslist every day, at least once. I always used to, when I used Craigslist, I would put it on Craigslist twice a day. Go to real estate meetings, pass out flyers, call every wholesaler that you can think of, that you know, look for other wholesalers on Craigslist or whatever and ask them if they might have a buyer. Put signs out. You could put an ad in the paper. I haven't actually done that. I don't think I've ever done that actually with a wholesale deal, but you really need to hustle to get the word out, that you have a deal for sale. So, just putting one ad on Craigslist, I'm not saying that's what you're doing, but you really need, especially like I said, if you don't have that network set up, you really need to hustle and bust your butt to get the word out about your deal. The third thing that can sometimes prevent you from selling a deal is if there's something just crazy or something weird about the house. Like maybe, say, if it's across from a slaughterhouse or something like that, or like if it's I don't know, if there's just something weird, maybe if it's like right next to a cemetery, or if it backs up to a strip club or something like that, or if it's functionally obsolete, like if it's just completely, if the interior is all jacked up, like sometimes people will do I call it redneck remodeling, where they'll just go crazy and make all these additions to the house, and it just kind of, the house is all chopped up. That sometimes will affect, if a buyer, normally if it was a regular house with a regular layout, it might be a good deal, but because it's so screwed up, or because the location of it is, it's in such a weird location, people aren't interested. So, you said you're in Atlanta. I know for a fact, I know of wholesalers in Atlanta that are doing a lot of business right now. As a matter of fact, if you, I know of a buyer in Atlanta if you go to 123flip.com, Jay Scott, he is right now actively purchasing. He's buying and rehabbing. So I would check that site out. But don't, think that it's because there aren't any buyers in Atlanta. I know for a fact that there are buyers in Atlanta. It's just that, either the deal isn't good enough, you're not doing enough marketing, or, maybe there's something wrong, something weird going on with the houses. So, and one thing that you want to do while you're marketing these deals, I know you haven't been able to find a buyer yet, but that's how you learn. That's one of the best ways. It might suck that you put a deal under contract and have to back out, but you should be, while you're marketing those deals, you should be talking to people that call about it and asking them, try and find out, well, if you don't want to buy it at this price, can I ask you what price would make it attractive to you? Or if they just say they're not interested, ask them why. That's how you learn. That's how you learn markets. That's how you learn what a good deal is and what a bad deal is. So I would just encourage you to, keep working, keep talking to buyers, keep looking for motivated sellers, but you really want to, I think if I had to guess that you're probably getting these deals, you're not getting them cheap enough. That's usually what the problem is. So, but use these, these 3 properties that you haven't been able to sell, use that to your advantage. Talk to buyers, find out why they don't want the deal, what price you would have to, they would have to get it at for it to be a good deal. So I would not suggest going into another market. I would just suggest tweaking what you're doing right now because, at least you're out there putting stuff under contract or talking to sellers and talking to buyers. That's, most people never even get to that point. So you're almost there. Just you just got to tweak things a little bit. So if anyone has any questions or if you have any questions, Alexander, about this, feel free to leave a comment on my blog and I'd be happy to answer. And same thing for anyone else watching this. So you guys have a great rest of your weekend and I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.